Welcome back to The Mess, everyone. So today we are going to check on my entire collection during this crazy heat wave. It is the end of June right now as I'm recording this. I don't know when this is going to go out, but yeah, it's been hella hot these past few days and my plants are drying out so rapidly. So we got to go every few days and water everything. So I'm going to take you along for the trip. Let's go. So here is the very discombobulated grow tent. I have some things down here. I sold some of these, so I have this out. These are my Black Swan seedlings that I made. I have some orchids that I just don't have room for yet. I'm trying to figure out how to set everything up. I might have to get rid of a few things because I want to consolidate. But I'm looking at this poor guy right here and I can already tell, look how floppy he is. And I just watered him like maybe 3-4 days ago and he's already dried out because it's been like 87 in here. So we're going to give him a little water and hopefully he'll bounce back. I really need like an irrigation system in here, guys. I need a sprayer in here. No, that would be disastrous. I would ruin my apartment. I can have one in my my terrarium cabinet, but in here, I don't think so. Look, he's taking a piss. I mean, if you plant things in here, I guess that they can water them. That's the whole point, right? Anyway, I'm caring for the Spirit of Sancti, and it has the worst fungal infection. Can you see that? I've been spraying it. The leaves keep coming out like that. I've been taking leaves off. And my Spirit of Sancti that I bought from Equigenera, it has it too. And I'm just done. And I'm just hoping that they can ride this wave out because, yeah, I have no time. I have no time to care for these divas. Sorry, guys, and sorry to the friend that I'm watching this for, but yeah, I just can't. I can't. Oh, and then I have orchids here that are not flowering. See, it's so easy to buy orchids when they're blooming and they're beautiful, and then when they're not blooming, you're just kind of like, you know. So, I mean, I'll water him for now. My God, no wonder my plants are dying. This is the worst. This is the worst way to water. These guys look dry. Oh yeah, that's dry. This is Anthurium. No, it's not Anthurium. What are you doing, Jake? This is Begonia Bake. I have to say it like that. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna have to bring these to the sink because, yeah, oh, this one actually looks kind of nice. All right, now these are all watered. To be fair, guys, I have not watered these guys in a few weeks because they usually can hold their own for a few weeks, but in this heat wave, no. This one, hopefully that one perks back up. I've had these things revert to a stump and come right back, so they should be fine. This one might not make it. We'll just have to see. I mean, I have cuttings for days, guys. I have this one here. I have one in my little terrarium, so like, it's fine. And I just kind of sell these as they grow and look cute, so I'll put those back up. Oh, another philodendron that got that stupid, this thing. I don't know what that is. It's some kind of fungal infection, it has to be. My poor, beautiful Philodendron Pink Princess has it. Can you see that right there? Yeah, you see that? So I chopped off all the infected leaves, and I'm trying to air layer it up here. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, the variegation's beautiful. Unfortunately, now he looks salmon, which he looks gross. See, this is why I don't do the philodendrons, guys. I should just stop. I should just throw out all my plants. No, I would never do that. Looking at this, I want to throw out all my plants. But if we go in here, you know, guys, this is what makes the plants and the plant collecting and all that craziness worth it. Check out this guy. This was my tortum that in a recent video, I told you I had top cutted it because I had a little bit of dry rot and I was going to re-root it into water and then root it into fluval stratum. Well, it's rooting in that fluval stratum, baby. Let's see, can I show you? Guys, it's literally been a few days. Can you see the little white in there? So yeah, he is rooting and doing great. So he's back, baby. He is back like Jack Black. And that's a new leaf right there. My stupid Wenlingery that looks beautiful but hasn't put out a leaf or done anything in literally half a year is finally now putting out a flower. So hopefully it's curly-cued, because this will be the second flower. The first flower was not curly-cued or corkscrewed. The plant sometimes is not mature enough to, you know, do the full effect. it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's check out this guy. This guy. Oh, he's bone dry. He's bone dry. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Guys, this is my Magnificum OA, aka SP Nove Peru, I think. It's like an undescribed species, and it is beautiful. Hold on, let me show you. Are you seeing this magnificence? Just look at that. Ugh, it's just so dastardly beautiful. I love it. Love it. Here we have one of my favorite orchids that I have gotten to rebloom like 2 or 3 times at this point, and it is just about done. I think this final heat wave got the best of these last like 2 or 3 blooms that it had. It was hanging on to them for maybe like a month or 2. So it was time for him to go. Now you can cut it back to one of these right here, and it could bloom out again. Like, do you see those little spikes right there? Those potentially, it's kind of a 50-50 shot, guys. I don't want to do that because he's been flowering for like, I think like 4 or 5 months. He needs a break because he needs to work on his root system, because orchids, when they're flowering, they don't really work on their root system. So when they're done flowering, that's when they can start growing new leaves, growing new roots, and really getting prepared for the next blooming season. So we're gonna go all the way down and cut this guy all the way back because he is done. He has put on a great show. These ones are fragrant, which I love. Oh, so I'm very, very happy. I will definitely be keeping this guy long term. And I mean, like, he's a little moist, but he needs a little water. Let's just be honest, guys. He needs a little water, but he's doing good. Yeah, one of his leaves is getting a little bit yellow. He's a little bit wrinkly. Do you see that? Yeah. The heat is getting to him, guys. The heat's getting to him. I'm gonna give him a nice, good soaking. Don't mind the dirty sink, guys, please. It's just been too hot to do dishes or anything, I'm telling you. And just finished watering these. I love this guy. Now, this Phalaenopsis orchid, it hasn't flowered for me yet, so it's been doing nothing but working on that root system. Do you see that? Oh. I love these wooden baskets because as you get the basket wet, the roots love it because they cling onto trees in the wild. So they love the damp wood and they will just go all over. They'll go gangbusters. Let me show you this one here. It has a nice little, what do you call that? Little pattern on it, on the leaves. See that? And yeah, look at the roots just going crazy. They're just going crazy. Woo! Oh, that's a little bit inappropriate. So yeah, he is doing pretty good. And, oh, wait a minute. What is that? I thought that was another spike. It was just a piece of moss. I was like, wait a minute. It is too soon for you to be flowering. You guys only flower like in the fall. The fall and winter, and then like early spring. Okay, so you don't have to, you can rest now. Rest, work on the root system, work on the new leaves, and we'll be good to go. I'll be happy. And now I'm watering these orchids. When you water them, it's pretty important to hydrate the aerial roots, which are the roots that are just kind of sticking out and not really in the soil, because eventually those will dry out. So you want to give them a little bit of water so that they green up a little bit and they stay nice and healthy, they don't dry out. But yeah, I like to get the basket all wet so that the roots can just find all that water and just go gangbusters. Oh, look at that. Yeah, this orchid is quite happy. This one was actually dying from root rot, and while it was flowering, and I was like, to protect it, to save it from its own demise, I cut off the beautiful flower spikes. It had 2 beautiful flower spikes. I cut them off after it rebloomed for me for like a 3rd time. I had to cut them off because I had to save the plant, because they will not rehab while they're flowering. That is the weird thing about orchids. They will kill themselves to save their flowers. So, yeah, you gotta pick your battles. And this right here is my Grammy's orchid, who passed in 2021. So this is one of the orchids that she had. It's flowered, again, 2 or 3 times for me at this point, and I love it. So I'm going to get it all nice and hydrated. I'm not fertilizing them right now, but when I do fertilize them, usually once every couple of weeks, I will just do the same thing, but I will pour fertilizer water all over them. That's literally it, guys. Ain't nothing special to it. There's no special concoction to orchids. You just use whatever orchid fertilizer you want to use, and that's literally it. Because people use so many different things. I use this. I use Better Grow, Better Bloom, 113515. I use this for my anthuriums, my philodendrons, everything, hunty, everything. And they all flower and they all do great, so yeah, I like this one. I will say though, I used to use a tablespoon per gallon. I'm now using a teaspoon per gallon, or like a quarter teaspoon. Actually, no, a quarter teaspoon. Because I tested the pH and the pH was a little bit off. I think it was a little bit too acidic or too alkaline. I forget which way it went, but with the teaspoon, for my water in particular, I don't know about your water, for my water in particular, it was around that 6.5 area, which is what plants tend to like. So I mean, I over fertilized all my plants and they were all just fine, but I'm going to see if I can see any different results or better results for this coming year when I give them a little bit less fertilizer, if it means getting the pH right, because everyone talks about the pH. I never really test the pH, but I decided, let me just see if the pH is like holding me back. Maybe it is. We'll just have to see. So I'm gonna put these back, and do you see this? Do you see that? Yeah, that got burnt by the grow light because it touches the grow light. Do you see that? So maybe I can position it so it's not touching the grow light, because that's not very sightly. That's a brand new leaf. It's the newest leaf aside from this new one coming in, and it's already damaged. So yeah, let's not do that. Don't burn your orchids, guys, don't burn them. How is the terrarium doing? Oh, look at the big biophytum. He is just going gangbusters. Whoo, there's a nice healthy begonia bike. And the, is that Margravia? I forget the names. I got it from Plant Corner. I love those things. Look how it's kind of rainbow. It like is, the new growth is red, and then it goes like kind of orange, and then it goes green. I love that. Love it. The Venus flytrap seems to be like going semi-dormant. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Once in a while it tends to do that. This guy also seems to be kind of doing that, so I'm not really sure. I don't really let my plants go dormant because they don't cool down. They just kind of do whatever they want to do, and usually they bounce back. So, you know, I ain't worried about it too much. This guy looks great. Do you see that? Whoo! And all the moss looks, for the most part, pretty good. A little dried out, though. So I'm gonna spray this guy real quick. Got some distilled water in here to protect the coniferous plants, make them happy. And I'm really drenching this. Whenever I water this, I really drench it. And I'm very, very happy. I have not had a problem with any fungus in here. Usually I have a little bit of an outbreak every once in a while. And I think when you keep it too wet for too long and don't let it get a little, just like a tiny bit dry in between soakings, then I think, yeah, that's the key. Next up here, guys, we have a very big and beautiful Albo Monstera. This is the small form, but look how big this leaf is. This is the newest leaf. Look how big that is compared to my head. Oh my goodness. Now, unfortunately, this guy does have thrips. I've been treating him, but upon closer inspection, I am still seeing thrips, those little white bugs, just squirming around under the leaves and causing this damage. I don't know if you can see. Do you see right there? Right there. Do you see that browning, that discoloration? Look at this beautiful leaf. Beautiful, beautiful leaf, the second newest leaf. But underneath, are you seeing, oh, it's too high up. Are you seeing all of like the browning right there? It's like kind of like a faded brown. Yeah, that's all thrip damage, honey, so we don't want that in this household. Now, last week I added systemic granules to the substrate down here. This should last for 4 to 6 weeks, so I'm not going to reapply this just yet. I find that this knocks out thrip populations pretty quickly, but because this seems like a pretty big infestation and I'm not seeing the results that quickly, I'm going to do a foliar spray, and what I am going to use is Arbor. It's an all-organic company. They make insecticide, fungicide, and plant food. And I actually used this on the Joe Pie, which is in my mom's new garden that I made for her over the last few weeks. As soon as I planted it, it had spit bug and something else possibly, or maybe it was also the spit bug, I'm not really sure. It was eating all of the new foliage and it was just decimating those plants. So I sprayed it with this Arbor and now it's doing great after just a couple of weeks. I have the Arbor spray bottle right here. It's great because because just a cap full of this is good for 32 ounces. So it's already like measured out, so you don't have to get like a big gallon jug and measure out like 2 tablespoons or whatever. So this is 32 ounces. This is a 1/4 gallon. All right, so we're going to spray this whole guy down, and I do this on my floor, but honestly, guys, I should use a towel, just because, like, even though it's a sealed hardwood floor, I am renting this place. So we're gonna spray this guy all the way down. You could also do this in your bathtub, but I don't wanna walk all the way over there. It's hot. I'm just gonna do it right here. The other night I went to bed, it was 87 degrees Fahrenheit in here. Oh boy. Yeah. These plants are drying out like every 2-3 days. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'll be like, oh, I just watered you the other day, but like, it's already dry. Yeah. When the temperatures go up drastically, you gotta get on top of your watering. That also includes gardening, especially, not just houseplants. My mom's gardens that I made for her, all the landscaping that I'm doing in Connecticut. Obviously the first year you have to water a little bit more often just so that the plants can establish in that first season. But with the extra heat, you know, the plants, you know, they can get a little droopier, a little faster than usual. So you gotta stay on top of the watering. All right, so we sprayed most of the front, but really it's the back of the leaves where most of these pests hide. And the reason they hide on the back of the leaves is for protection from the wind, from the rain, also from predatory insects that will try to feast on them. So they're actually trying to hide from us. They're trying to hide, so we have to really be mindful. Just because we don't see them on the front of the leaf doesn't mean they're not stirring up trouble on the back of the leaf. And this is such a beautiful elbow, and it's getting so big. I really don't want this to fall to the wayside and look trashy. I really want this to stay looking nice and pristine, especially the variegated parts. These variegated parts are the first to go when a variegated plant is stressed. And I don't know if you guys can see, this is the moss pole right here. Monsteras do need to be staked up. Even the large form, guys, even the large form, yes, they do climb. Okay, for those of you who are saying that large form monsteras don't climb, that's wrong. They are climbers. They are gigantic vines. They don't climb as quickly because they tend to be more compact with their internodal spacing than the small form monster, but they do climb. Okay, so do you see how he is already kind of outgrowing this thing? So I'm gonna add a little bit more moss because I definitely want this guy to continue sizing up. I wanna see how big this small form can get. I need my brush. And we're just going to tuck all this moss down in there. Let's cover up those new aerial roots so that they have consistent access to moisture. And you know what? I'm gonna add even a little bit more. I'm just gonna add more, because why not? Let's just add more while we're at it, guys. Perfect. That should last him a couple of more months at least, probably even more like 4 or 5 months, because again, even the small form doesn't climb super aggressively. It will climb considerably over the course of a year, but that should do it for the next few months. All right, I'm going to use the rest of the moss that I have here. I have all these systemic granules just like on top of the substrate. It might be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to use this moss to kind of cover it just so that it's constantly wet. Because here's the thing, guys, the systemic granules is activated by moisture, by water. So every time you water it in, it is able to activate into the soil. So it's not going to activate if it's not wet. All right, let's just give him some more water. There's some little bits of moss in there that'll just go right in there. There we go. And I'm gonna leave him here until he air dries before I put him back up. This is not like neem oil where it can burn the foliage under the sun. I saw the video of the creator of Arbor where she was literally spraying and just drenching garden plants outside in full sun, and yeah, it was just fine. So this is not like neem oil where it can possibly burn your foliage. If you use too much, if you overdo it, then you might burn the foliage. But in terms of the sun, most likely not. So, or grow lights in my situation. You know what? Because thrips also do have a life cycle in the soil, I'm going to water the moss pole a little bit with this, and the moss pole will then slowly water all of this down here. And the thing with pests, guys, is that you have to treat all your plants in that area. You can't just treat that one plant because if that plant is near this plant over here, you gotta treat that plant too because that plant probably has the same pest. Because if you don't, you're just gonna play whack-a-mole forever and ever and ever, and there's no time to do that, guys. So you have to just get it over with so that every few weeks, you're not constantly trying to treat a new plant for an infestation. You just treat them all at the same time or one area all at the same time as much as you can, and you should be good to go that way. But let me just show you, because actually it's further away so it looks smaller. That is how big this plant is getting. Oh boy. Another guy that's been drying out like crazy is this Nepenthes here. Actually, there's 3 in here. I have to water it with distilled water, and it loves to just sit in water. So I'm just gonna... Yeah, let's just wet the whole freaking apartment like that. Yeah, just ruin my brand new... Anyway, so yeah, this guy does great in ambient. He does great in the winter time. He's great in the summertime when he's watered. But yeah, I mean, even the moss is doing not terribly. I mean, yeah, as you can see, it's getting kind of dry in there, but he's sun stressing nicely. Look at those pictures. So yeah, he's got at least 3 plants in, no, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe one of them is pupping, and I planted 2 more in there just to kind of see, because they had different pictures. Like this one has red pictures. This one has these, like, would you call them variegated pictures? I'll just say variegated. You get the idea. That like, it looks like an organ. It looks like a human organ. Isn't that crazy? And then one of them used to have red pictures, but then got these. So maybe this one will eventually get the same pictures. We'll just have to see. But he's got some different colored foliage. You know, so we'll just have to see how he grows up with the other ones. But yeah, this look at this water everywhere. Oh my god, what a freaking mess. Look at this. I'll water the plants down here a little bit too. There you go, guys. Guys, it's hot. They need all the water they can get. So like he literally dries up probably in a day. Right now, usually I only have to water him maybe twice a week, and my water literally just fill this up so he's sitting in water, and then he sucks that up like that, yeah, like with that sound effect, and then he's good to go. So usually, you know, twice a week is a good schedule for him. But with this heat wave, man, it's been like every day, every other day, like he is bone dry. So it's a little bit crazy. Over here, my Whittle Wendlingery is flowering right there, and I need to make sure that this does not dry out so that does not abort, because that would be very interesting. The big Wendlingery that I have over here, see that guy, he's flowering too, so we'll just see. It's a battle of the inflorescences, the corkscrew inflorescences, so we'll just have to see. And I don't know if this is related to the heat or things like overheating or like just too much, I don't know, electrical shortages in the city. I have no idea. It could just been, you know, bad timing, but one of the lights broke. And so yeah, I have to get another one on Amazon. I actually had one come the other day, and I plugged it in. I was going to put it up today, but it's not the right temperature. This is like a slightly warm white. The other one was like one of those sterile whites, like a 5,000 Kelvin, and I was like, that's too, it's too like doctor's office-y for me. You feel me? Like I need like some nice homey light. You know what I'm saying? It can't look too grow lighty in here. Also, I really am trying to find the ones that have the white. I was able to find one because these are no longer in stock. I don't know why, but you know, that happens with Amazon things, unfortunately. Sometimes things are just unavailable forever. They just vanish and you can't buy them again. But yeah, usually a lot of them have the black cores. And I don't like that because I like the clean look of this. I like how it just kind of blends in with this very sturdy. Look how the plants are shaking. Yeah, it's so sturdy. Got this from IKEA. Yeah, that great place that sells the really high quality stuff. Yeah, very, very sturdy. It's made out of balsa wood. So, but yeah, I like how it's white on white as opposed to black cords. Just makes it look a little bit cleaner. But yeah, so right now the orchids are in the dark. I put some of the anthuriums over on the other shelf just so that, you know, they can get some light. These orchids will be fine for a couple of days in the dark, but the anthuriums have like new leaves come out and stuff, so I really want them to be okay. They're kind of rehabbing and they're putting out new leaves, so, you know, I want them to do well. This guy's doing just fine, this terrarium, so that's great. This guy's putting out his new leaf very, very nicely. I know the light is off, but you can kind of see that, right? If I zoom in like this. Ooh, hello there, Mr. Sir. Can I take you out for a night on the town? Sorry, guys. Even these plants, which are the tried and true ones, like my brownie eye anthurium, which is just like a warrior, even he is getting a little bit too dry for my watering schedule. I gotta water him a little bit more often. As you can see, a little bit of crisping there. And I don't know if this is damage from underwatering. I don't think he dried out that much. I think this might be a little bit of chemical burn. This also might just be kind of like the fading of the leaf after they got attacked by the thrips and the spider mites, or actually I think it was just spider mites. I don't think this one got attacked by thrips. But yeah, it's got a new leaf coming out, so yeah, he'll put out new leaves and he'll be beautiful again. So yeah, love this guy, my Philodendron patriciae. I mean, that's still a beautiful leaf. And in this corner, he still looks beautiful. So, and he's kind of backlit, so you can't really notice that bad leaf. This is an older leaf. And this one, you know, it's got a little damage, but again, they're still beautiful leaves. So like, I'm not gonna cut them off just yet. But if I did cut, I mean, also this one was damaged. But he's got a new leaf coming in right there, so I ain't that mad. He'll be fine, guys. He'll be great. He has like no root system. He's been in here for a while, and usually philodendrons would have become pot bound at this point, but his roots grow quite slowly. But he's got roots in there, and they look healthy, so you know, we'll see. Even on my my Perry, my only plant that actually has been named, because I've had him for so long, Bird of Paradise, Perry, get it? Perry, because he's Bird of Paradise. It's funny, guys, right? Right, it's funny. Haha, chuckles. He's drying up a little bit too much. Look how he's crisping a little bit there. So, and I've been watering him more often. So, yeah, maybe I should water him more often? I don't know. By the way, who says often and who says often? I kind of go back and forth. I tend to say often. Like, do you guys say often or often? Because I just noticed that I said often, but I feel like I usually say often. Because I'm a little bit of a lazy speech slur, you know what I'm saying? Right? So do you say often or often? Let me know. Oh, and then let me just come back here. Oh yeah, so this is a clusterfuck right here, because these are the plants that were over there while the grow lights are out. The variegated gloriosum, it's kind of reverting, and the place where I chopped it to get the variegation back, one leaf came out all variegated. I mean, beautiful, but the other leaf came out all green. Wait, right? Do you see it in there? Yeah, that one right there came out all green. So you just can't win. I might have to chop him again. There's a growth point right there that might do something, so maybe I'll chop him there. I'm gonna have to repot him though, because he is really root bound, and he's got like a couple little dry root tips in there from like really drying out while I was away. So yeah, I gotta repot him because he dries out too quickly in here. The dresselery, the big one, yeah, they put the leaves down, but he's doing fine, I promise. He's putting out a new leaf right there, so he's doing well. And then this is a prop of my red spider. Look how long that leaf is. You probably can't really see, but if I like bring it down like that, it's so backlit, but can you kind of see? Anyway, you get the idea. It's a leaf, guys, but isn't it the most gorgeous leaf? How are you, by the way, sir? Are you? Okay, you're good. I find that he can dry out quite a bit and he's okay. You know why, guys? Because he has those thick roots. Look at those thick roots. Oh, yeah. Like a monstera, baby. Just kind of a vloggy, updatey kind of video. Nothing too crazy, nothing too specific. So I'm going to head out and I'll catch you in the next video. This has been Jake, also known as Plant Gay for Life. Bye-bye.